I think this president has shown, whether you like him or not, and there's certainly things that I'm unhappy about and have criticized. But I think Trump is in charge. Like, he's making these decisions. There's nobody behind him. There's nobody pulling for all of that. The Russians or whoever, or the Israelis. It's just he's clearly. I mean, Elon gave him $250 million, and he didn't give him even the electric car credit. Like Trump is in charge. I think that's one of the big lessons from this. And I think that means that there's not a lot of second order thinking here. Like, oh, what's the move after that? He doesn't know. He's just acting. That's what's so wild about it, is that this older foreign policy establishment, which, was like, let the experts decide what the right foreign policy, all these think tanks, and that's just gone now. It's just irrelevant in this presidency. And I don't think it'll come back. Like, if you get a Gavin Newsom or a President AOC,
President who?
I don't think, yeah.
For real?
I think she, for a minute, before Munich. But I don't think it's going to come back, and I think that that's what the Prime Minister of Canada realized. I think that's what the Europeans are starting to realize, is that this is a completely different world that we live in than the one we lived in just a couple of years ago.
Which just doesn't make any sense to me unless we're acting on someone else's interests, like particularly Israel's interests. Just didn't make any sense to me. Like, if they had supposedly dismantled their chances of making a nuclear bomb, whether or not that's true, it's so hard to know.
He was unsatisfied, and just like he was like, I'm not getting anywhere in these negotiations, and I'm going to replace the person I'm negotiating with. It's just, turn over the table, like, change things up. You're not getting anywhere. And you could say he was too impatient. Their view was the Democrats were too patient with Iran. They kept trying with Iran. They weren't giving them what they wanted. I'm not defending it. I'm just saying I think that's what explains it. They haven't done a very good job explaining it, because I think that it just sounds to some extent like what it is, which is that they're acting without. They're sort of like, well, does it result in regime change in Iran? We don't know. They might say that we want that or whatever, but that's not ultimately. They're not acting on the basis of achieving regime change.
What just seems so insane based on what he ran on. This is why a lot of people feel betrayed, right? He ran on no more wars and these stupid, senseless wars, and then we have one that we can't even really clearly define why we did it.
Well, but he said he's against endless wars.
Well, they're
against
all
endless wars.
Listen, man, they're all endless. Did you ever hear Rumsfeld talk about Iraq when it first happened?
Tell me.
They were talking about like 6 weeks. 6 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
6 weeks.
But they that was ground force, and I know that they've not ruled that out. For me, that would be.
They have?
They have not.
Oh,
my understanding is
no,
that they have not. Yeah.